Hey yo, what is up? One day into super test and there's already some changes into the concept number 5 tier 10 medium wheeled tank tech tree. Now this tank is going to be released sometime really soon because we've already have this tank in super test, which means the tech tree line will be probably ready for the next patch, which is 1.21.1, I suppose. But already one day into super test, we've seen some changes and some good news and some bad news. Actually, a lot of good news, but one piece of bad news. And I'll start off with the bad news first. The bad news is the camo is not going to be 18%. The camo is just going to be 10% stationary, which means you can get this up to, let's say, around 20, 21%, 22% stationary camo, which is not very good, to be honest with you. And most likely because this tank is actually ginormous. It is a very tall wheeled tank that's going to be pretty easy to hit from a distance because of the size. Look at that turret, man. It's a huge turret. It looks like a 60 TP turret that is squared off. You know what I'm talking about? It's huge. So we're talking about a huge tall wheel tank that is probably gonna have worse camo than we thought it was going to have. It was initially slated to have 18% camo rating stationary, which means, you know, we thought we could get it up to about 30, high 30s camo rating, maybe even close to 40% camo rating. But unfortunately that is not going to happen now. 10% stationary camo rating means you're gonna get maximum 22% camo rating, and that is not really good for this tank. But there is a slight improvement in terms of the agility and accuracy and aim time. So let's talk about it. The traverse or the hull traverse speed slightly improved from 40 to 41.72. It's not really great, but it's a little bit of improvement. It is already very agile. 40 degrees per second was already extremely good for any kind of tank, for that matter. Even if a light tank had 40 degrees of hull traverse, it's going to be absolutely amazing. The gun traverse as well improved from 50 degrees per second to 52.15 degrees. It is already very good, and they've made it even better, which means this thing is going to dance around like a light tank. It is just going to be very agile, very nimble tank. We've already talked about the concealment or the camo values, which is very terrible, so let's just move on from that. The reload time has been improved from 11.7 seconds to 11.45 seconds. Not that great, still in the 11-second window, which is not going to make this tank very desirable for those of you chasing DPM and high damage values, because 11.45 second is not going to make this a very fast shooting gun, very slow shooting gun. In fact, it's just opposite of a fast shooting gun. But the accuracy has improved. Dispersion from 0.31, which was already good, now it's going to be 0.30, which means you could probably bring down the dispersion down to about 0.28, 0.27 if you're running food, if you have a great crew, depending on the moving dispersions, which we still don't know what it's going to be. If it's going to be under 0.15, for example, this is going to make it possibly usable without a vertical stabilizer, which means you could improve other things on this tank. The aim time as well improved from 1.8 seconds to 1.73 seconds. You know, just a smidgen of improvement in terms of aim time and reload time. I hope that they will improve the reload time further. I'm talking about 9-second reload. If they can make this a 9-second reload gun, then we're going to be talking about a very, very competitive tank. Even with its reduced camo value, I would still definitely play this tank and make it one of my favorite tanks if they reduce that reload time down to about 9 seconds. Currently at 11.45 seconds, I don't think it is just going to be very competitive or it's going to be very reliable at all, because 11.45 seconds means you're going to be relying on the mobility to get you out of trouble most of the time. With an 11.45 second reload time, this means that you're going to use that high mobility, high agility to get yourself out of trouble a lot of times. This means you're going to fire one time, probably try to evade, try to run away, try to hide behind rocks, bushes, hard cover, terrain. You're just going to be using that mobility a lot more instead of trying to poke and hold your ground and wait for that 7-8 second reload time to kick in and then fire your second shot or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is, with 11.45 seconds reload, you are basically reduced to using your agility, mobility, speed to play this tank instead of being more combat capable. What I'm trying to say is, if you had a 9-second gun, you're going to be fighting more often. Without a 9-second reload gun, you're going to be shoot and scoot more often. You're going to be trying to evade more often. You're not going to be trying to engage as you would if you had a quick reload gun, which is kind of sad, because if you had a quick reload gun, you can be more aggressive, stay engaged longer, instead of trying to shoot and try to run away, avoid, and try to use mobility to try to escape and then come back for that second shot. So hopefully things will change. We'll see what happens in the next few days, next few weeks. Of course, the super testers are going to guide what's going to happen with the reload and things like that, with the stats of the gun. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.